Yeah, so I feel like throughout my life, this whole abundance and scarcity has been tested for me a few times in some pretty severe ways. One of them being a divorce, and I was 40 years old and found myself. Well, first of all, I do feel I was young when I got married, and you do kind of attract a type of person that allows you to be your person financially. So for example, I was like, let's figure it out, let's have a plan, and I was all about my plan and our financial growth. He was all about spending more money. So he was a challenge for me, and I was the person that prevented him from just falling off the cliff. So at 40, I found myself in a situation where I did ask for a divorce, and it was around, I just couldn't do the whole thing anymore, and the financial piece was beyond stressful. So I not only, when I filed for divorce in the state of Maine, it's half liabilities, half assets. Well, I was given the gift of, oh my gosh, debt that he had accumulated in his name, and I had to pay my half of his debt. And so after getting very angry and very upset, I grounded myself in my beliefs of what is my plan, what is my goal. There will be better times, the sun will rise, I will be fine, and I am going to pay myself first. And so I put forth a plan. I called his credit card companies, I called the mortgage company, and I started talking to them because I knew I could do that. I not only paid off all of his debt, sold marital property that I maintained until the sale of the property, maintained my credit, and was able to work with my kids to get them into school, in good schools, that that I had to figure out myself. And so I anchor to, in times that are tough, I anchor to, you know what, I know there's going to be better days. I know that I need to protect myself in many ways. That means have a plan. That means be properly insured. That means to have retirement accounts, but also to have a little fun along the way. How many remember getting their first dollar bill or $5 bill when you're little? Did anyone ever tell you what to do with it? If they did, they might have said, oh, save it, honey, put it in the bank. And I mean, that's what happened to me. But I think that part of planning for your future is a savings and spending plan. So to deprive yourself from spending money or reaching your fun goals is not a way, in just my opinion, to move forward. And so when I look at my financial plan and how did I get through tough times, I worked on what is my savings and spending plan, because that was an important part of my plan. And when I did get divorced, my kids were still at home. And what I did was we had a family meeting, the three of us, every single month. And I grew up in a family where you didn't talk about money, and you did not you certainly didn't tell your kids how much you made. You certainly didn't tell your kids how much you spent. But monthly, I sat down with my kids, and I put our electric bill, our phone bill, our cable bill, my salary, how much I was paying in taxes, my deductions. And together, we talked about that month, okay, where can we cut back? What can we do? What are our wants and our needs? What are our goals? And it was awesome because I had these two kids that would go and figure it out. So my son would call the or the cable company, and I'll never forget when he's like, Mom, I got us on this deal, and now we're saving like $50 whatever a month, and he's like, and now we can do this, and it was hysterical. So those were our conversations, from grocery bills to our cable bill. So to sum it all up, I've always had a plan, always paid myself first, always have had fun. That's been part of my plan, and have talked and talked and talked about money and building wealth, and what are my goals, and what are my needs, and then what are my wants, and how am I going to get those wants, and valuing people and relationships over things has gotten me through tough times.